Hey folks, Pastor Stephen from Beaumont Presbyterian Church here. Hope that you're doing well. I'm here with another installment of our Wilderness Lesson series. And today's Wilderness Lesson is about creating sacred space for worship. Last night, our session met and voted unanimously to approve the practice of online communion during live services. So, for example, next week for Maundy, Thursday, at 7 p.m. and our Easter Sunday service at 11 a.m. we will observe communion during our live streamed worship service. And then during that time we will invite you at home, whoever would like to, with your families, whoever you are at home with, to grab bread or crackers of any kind and juice of any kind and to partake in the elements with us. But because we are anticipating this and are looking forward to celebrating communion in this way together as a family, we thought it was important to talk a little bit about creating sacred space in your homes for worship. And truth be told, even if you're not observing communion, worship in any form, it's very important to have sacred space. I was reminded by my father-in-law yesterday that worshiping at home is actually nothing new for Christianity. Actually, if you look at the book of Acts, which chronicles the church, the Christian church in its earliest form, worshiping at home was really the way that everybody worshiped. There was no church building. There were no sanctuaries or cathedrals. In fact, Christianity was illegal. It was deemed illegal at that time by the Roman Empire. So people were literally hunkered down in their homes worshiping. So in some ways, we got away from that. Once Christianity was legalized and became more mainstream and spread, we created church buildings such as the one I'm in right now that's empty except for me. We created cathedrals. We created these beautiful spaces for people to come to and worship and encounter the holy, and we call these things sacred spaces. But as we did that, I think we forgot that our home can be a sacred space. So now with the coronavirus pandemic, I think now is a good time for us to revisit how it is that we can carve out sacred space within our homes, holy space. Holy, not that it means more righteous or whatever, but rather holy means separate. How can you and your family create a separate, a special place in your home where you can gather to worship? So here I brought out some examples of some things that you can use, hopefully all things that you can find in your home. My table here is a little bit cluttered, but I wanted to give you some different examples of how to take an ordinary space and to make it sacred. So this is a stole that I often wear on communion Sundays or communion worship services. You see grapes, the chalice, bread and wheat stems here. It has kind of rainbow colors, which kind of remind us of resurrection and newness and growth. But truth be told, any cloth that you have will work. Maybe you have a scarf or a decorative blanket. Anything you can to bring some color and some creativity to the space would be great. This is a very simple communion set that actually was hand thrown for me at a church I used to serve. But any plates, any cup and pitcher will work for when we observe communion. So we love the sacraments here at Beaumont Presbyterian Church, and we have both of them represented here. And you can have both of them represented at your home with some sort of communion set. But I also would encourage you to find some sort of vessel in your house, that in your home, that you can use to make a makeshift baptismal font. Maybe during the assurance of pardon after the confession, get a pitcher of water and have you or the children pour water into the font to remember your baptisms. You might also consider doing with your family what we do here at the church, which is to dip your finger in the baptismal fonts and to trace the shape of a cross on your forehead and to remind yourself that your baptism is sufficient for your calling. Again, trace the cross on your forehead after dipping your finger in water and remind yourself or a loved one that your baptism is sufficient for your calling. So we've got Lord's Supper here. We've got The baptism here, we've got some color with any sort of fabric that you have. This is an art installation that was inspired by a sanctified art that was created by one of our very artistically talented members here, Meg Bowden. And all this is just a vase with sand and some rocks that have some kind of focus words written on them. Some fake moss, and these are some dead branches from actually the hedges that used to be around the church that we took down just a few weeks ago. You can also have some meditative music on in the backgrounds, like some Taizé music. I didn't have that playing right now for copyright reasons, but have some meditative music on in the background can help set the mood. Lighting a candle, I've got a woodwick candle here with one of my favorite scents on it. If you have a fireplace, you can light that as well. If you don't get too hot, hopefully your fireplace is a little bit less tacky than mine. But friends, I would just encourage you to be creative. Find ways to carve out sacred space in your homes in this time of social distancing and self-quarantining. Carve out some sacred space, and also if you do create sacred space in your home, please take a picture of it. Share it with me, share it with us so that we can learn from one another in this time. So friends, be creative, take risks, carve out sacred space in your home however you can. In the meantime, hope that you are well. We are keeping you in our thoughts and in our prayers in these difficult times that we are living in. Would invite you to join us for worship this Sunday at 11 a.m. either on our Facebook. We'll be streaming live on both Facebook and YouTube live simultaneously. In the meantime, if there's any way that we can be family to you during this pandemic, please let us know. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. So until next time, friends, be well, wash your hands, and stay connected. Bye now.